Welcome to Elevate 24. I'm Stephanie Patton, and I'm excited to guide you through today's session. Elevate 24 is your around-the-clock professional development platform designed to support and empower teachers, administrators, and support staff at any time from anywhere. Each session is thoughtfully aligned with the Louisiana Educator Rubric, focusing on 4 key areas: planning, instruction, environment, and professionalism. Our guiding mission is empowering growth every role, every hour. Today, we'll be diving into conflict resolution and problem solving. Let's get started. By the end of this presentation, you will be able to recognize differences between problem solving and conflict resolution, and define and understand the purpose of de-escalation techniques. So number 1, de-escalation techniques. De-escalation is simply the process of calming down a situation before it escalates further, somewhat like the picture in front of us. It is helping to slowly bring the temperature down before it reaches a boiling point. So when you think about de-escalation, think about like a hot pot of water. If you want to stop the temperature from escalating, you turn it off. So here's a video of a school administrator trying to de-escalate a situation with a parent. This conflict expert will interact or react to the video as we go along.
Hi, I'm Jeremy Pollack. I'm a conflict resolution specialist, and the video I'm about to watch shows an escalated interaction between school administrators and a couple of parents. I'll give you my reactions along the way. And if you're interested in de-escalation, check out my conflict resolution and de-escalation training workshops linked in the description below.
Whoa. It's for themselves.
No. Can I explain to you, sir? Can I just talk to you, explain to you? What we do is they have a big screen in their room, and when their bus comes up, we have adults all through the hallway here.
The administrator is doing a good job. Not sure what her position is, but she's doing a good job of staying calm and speaking slowly, using a very sort of pleasant tone of voice. So that's good right off the bat. We'll see how this goes.
Y'all got adults all through the hallway. How did it happen for the third time?
Okay.
Not the first. The first time I was calm. I was understanding because I understood it could happen. The second time I was mad, but I let it go. The third time, my son called me from the bus, crying, yelling, screaming, talking about he don't know where his sister is. Right. I'm supposed to be at work, which is an hour away from where we live here in Snellville. Now imagine if I went to work. Right. My 5-year-old daughter would be here.
Stuck.
So, what do you think about the administrator's reaction? Is there something that she could have done differently? Ooh, that was a heated video. Let's find out Dr. Pollack's response.
When he's talking, it seems to me like she is waiting for her turn to speak. She's nodding, she's sort of very flat-toned, and sort of her expression's very flat. So she's not using behavioral empathy. She's not using her facial expression to somehow kind of mirror what he's going through. So she's not putting herself in his shoes. She's just waiting for her turn to speak to explain her side or something like that. And at least that's the perception that I'm getting. I can imagine that that's how the parent is feeling, and he's probably feeling very frustrated because he doesn't really feel heard at that moment. So I would highly recommend, for de-escalation purposes, to use some sort of facial expression, some behavioral empathy in order to show him like, oh my gosh, I hear what you're saying. I get it. I understand. Like just something, not just a sort of flat tone in your facial expression. But let's see how this plays out.
Miss Curry left early today. We did have the parapro in the room. I don't know what happened, but I can try to get Miss Fields, and we can try to...
Okay, so she's trying to go into solutions, which is, we want to solve things, but she's not taking a moment to repeat what she heard. She's not doing any really empathizing. She's just kind of going right into an explanation and then trying to solve. And that typically doesn't make people feel heard, which can really continue or even escalate things further.
To figure out what happened.
Unacceptable.
Let me ask you this.
Unacceptable.
My son told them to stop, but he said, don't pull off. I cannot leave without my sister. And they told him to leave anyway. My son was on the bus screaming and crying, and y'all still told the bus to pull off. Whoever it was.
The parent is getting escalated because obviously her son was crying and screaming that they left the daughter. I mean, this is a situation which would anger any parent. And the response that I'm hearing from whoever this administrator is she immediately says no, and then she goes into her explanation. Using the word no and then going into an explanation is just completely shutting down this person from feeling heard. So again, we want to get across the sense that we care about what this person's going through. And the way to do that is to use behavioral, postural, verbal, and facial empathy, and also to repeat back what we heard, to get aligned with them, to be on their team, not to sort of defend our position or to explain something right off the bat. We might have to use an explanation at some point, but not right away. We want to de-escalate things before we start explaining.
There was a teacher who told him to pull off.
That's transportation.
They should have let my son get off the bus and find his sister, because that's what we told him to do. They didn't allow him to get off the bus.
That's transportation. That's a separate.
It was a teacher that told him.
Okay, so she's using the words, I agree with that. That's good. She's trying to team up, but then she's placing blame somewhere else. Now, it might be someone else's fault. That's fine. But when you start to redirect blame to someone else and there's no accountability at all, the parents are perceiving this as a school problem. And she's saying, well, that's not my department, that's transportation or something like that. That feels like no one's taking accountability. There's got to be someone who takes accountability, and right now, it's probably going to be the administrators because they're the representatives of the school in this moment. So again, really important, when someone's in an escalated state, we can't problem solve. We have to get them to de-escalate before we can problem solve. So to de-escalate, we need to show them that we're hearing them, that we care about what's going on for them, that we're empathizing with them, and that we're on their team before we start trying to explain what happened or defend or maybe redirect blame to someone else.
Whoa. So, interesting case. Again, what would you have done? I think for myself, the first thing I would have done was put my purse and belongings down so it doesn't look like I'm trying to speed out of the office when we have a parent who has a real problem. So the thing I learned the most from this is that de-escalation is very important before starting the problem-solving process. Okay, so now we talked about escalation. Let's talk about phases of de-escalation and what it looks like. There are 4 stages, and we're going to talk about student behavior and teacher or supervisors practices. So the first stage is prevention. In this stage, students are regulated while occasionally engaging in minor challenging behavior. So right now they're actively supervised. And the person who's supervising them is encouraging appropriate behavior by employing evidence-based classroom management strategies or high-quality instructional strategies. In addition, they're explicitly teaching regulation routines and actively building positive relationships. In addition, they are modeling calming behaviors, like maybe the square breathing model. For the second stage, and if you look at the behavior intensity, it's increasing. So at the second stage, which is escalation, students displayed low-level agitation and high-level acceleration behavior, meaning that their behavior is becoming more challenging. At this point, the supervisor is going to show empathy and offer choice. In addition, they're going to co-regulate and use redirection strategies. And above all, they're going to praise their ability to calm down and prompt the mastery of those behaviors. And they're going to give them a little space. And if you look at the third stage, which is crisis, this is when the behavior reaches its peak. The student needs support to regulate behavior and emotions because they are in crisis. They're at their plateau. Right now, the supervisor is going to offer crisis support. They're going to maintain safety of all, of themselves and the students. They're going to use minimal words and demands. They're not going to give wordy instructions. They may say things in 2 to 3 words. In addition, they may have to call for support, call the office, but above all, they are going to remain calm and practice self-regulation routines themselves. And any kind of crisis, support, or routine, they're going to use it at this point. Now we come to the de-escalation, or the restoration and recovery in the de-escalation phase. At this point, the student is able to regulate and integrate into the classroom. And right now, the teacher is going to practice recovery. They're going to reconnect and reintegrate students into the classroom and debrief with the students and record data. And at this point, they're going to debrief with the team and make sure they're employing restorative conversations and also a restorative circle if needed. While covering de-escalation techniques, we briefly mentioned restorative practices. And restorative practices in education involve using strategies to build strong school communities and teach conflict resolution, social emotional skills, and empathy rather than relying on traditional punitive measures. There are 5 R's. The first is relationships. And in relationships, we honor, nourish, and protect relationships first. Always heal broken relationships and acknowledge and address the harm caused. In number 2, which is respect, it means maintain a safe and trusting environment through mutual respect and deep listening. The third is responsibility. Promote personal accountability for one's actions and their effects on other individuals and the community. And then there's repair, which is the 4th step, which means we prioritize making amends and positive progress over punitive measures. And finally, number 5, reintegration. It's when we facilitate a supportive return to the community, highlighting growth and collaboration. Number 3, mediation skills for workplace disputes. So workplace remediation or mediation is a voluntary confidential process in which an impartial third party helps 2 or more employees reach a resolution to conflict. Here's a scenario. At Bright Minds Academy, Emma, a senior teacher, accused her colleague Peter of bullying during staff meetings. Emma felt Peter dismissed her ideas and undermined her authority in front of others. Peter, on the other hand, believed Emma was overly sensitive to constructive feedback. What do you think is the best way to mediate the issue between Emma and Peter? Take a few minutes to brainstorm a strategy. You may pause this video. So, did you have enough time to think? Let's see if your solution went along with this one. In this scenario, the school principal facilitated an early intervention by engaging a trained mediator to come and help Emma and Peter. During the mediation, Peter and Emma explored their perceptions and uncovered the root cause of their conflict, which was a lack of clarity about their roles and boundaries. The mediator helped them establish ground rules for communication, ensuring that feedback was constructive and respectful. This process helped to resolve and give an immediate resolution to the issue they were having, and further set an example for the entire faculty on how to resolve disputes constructively. Remember, conflict is inevitable, but how we address it determines the health and the success of our workplaces. Number 4, collaborative problem solving, or CPS. It's a structured, evidence-based approach that brings together people with different perspectives to find mutually satisfactory solutions to problems, often focusing on teaching skills rather than imposing. We've already reached the end of our presentation, but before you go, I want you to practice conflict resolution and problem solving. This week, I want you to keep a conflict journal or reflection log. During this week, I want you to track any conflicts or tough conversations you encounter, and then write how you handled it, what went well, and what you could have improved. You may want to even date it or have times on it in order to track the frequency of those conflicts or tough conversations. When you're done, you may want to write it on our discussion board. We'll have a link in discussion to share what you learned from those conflicts. Thank you for joining me today for this session of Elevate 24 in conflict management and problem solving. I hope you're walking away with fresh ideas, practical strategies, and a renewed sense of purpose in your role. Remember, professional growth isn't limited to one time or place. Elevate 24 is here to support you anytime, anywhere. Let's continue to grow together, every role, every hour. Thanks again, and I look forward to seeing you at future sessions. Bye-bye.